Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Steve and I are back as we discuss Die Die My Darling, otherwise known as Fanatic, directed by Silvio Narazano. A young woman is terrorized by her deceased fiance's demented mother, who blames her for her son's death. No box office information from this one, so I'm not too sure what happened there, but welcome back, Steve, as we carry on our Hammer Horror marathon.
Yeah.
We're finally getting through these.
gradually.
Yeah.
So
we're into the 70s now.
65.
65. Why am I thinking? I was looking up something else. 70. Oh, I'm confusing with Black Christmas. Sorry. 74. Yeah, 60s. We're well into the 60s now.
The year of my birth.
There you go.
Not 1865. 1965. I thought I'd get that in before you did.
Give me the punch.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed this film.
Yeah, as we were just talking before we went live, the music really confuses it with the tone.
Yeah, it was very sort of
almost Carry On type.
It was,
borderline sort of Carry On music.
Panther-like, wasn't it? The old Peter Sellers Pink Panther-like, because you saw a cat and then you saw a mouse and you thought, what's this about? So I hadn't seen the film before. I've never seen this film until this time, which was unusual. But it's not one that you see much of on the sort of list of.
No, I keep thinking of the Misfits song. Die, die, my darling. No.
Yeah, and someone else on it as well.
Metallica did
it. Big Rock. I was going to say one of the Big Rock.
Metallica covered it.
Yeah, but no, I when I first saw it, I thought, oh, is this a comedy? There's a cat chasing the mouse, and the mouse.
Even the tone of the intro, it's not. Yeah. It comes up a Hammer Horror, but it was almost coming up like cartoonish Hammer Horror. So
yeah,
I was thinking we were going to get Shadow of the Cat again.
Yeah, it made me think of Carry On Screaming with the Carry On horror film, and I thought, is it going to be another sort of? And I looked at the cast and I thought, Eutha Joyce is in it, and Eutha Joyce was a very good comedy actress in the 70s or 80s with George and Mildred. I don't know if you remember the TV series George and Mildred. They were also in. I think they were also bit parts in Man About the House. It was a big series. She was George Roper was the comedian, and Mildred she was the sort of sidekick to her husband. But it was a funny series. It went on for years and years. But Eutha Joyce obviously is deceased now. I think she died of cancer, I believe. But and so
a very young Peter Vaughan's in this.
A very young Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
But
he's barely recognizable in this.
Stephanie Powers, who played Patricia, was actually in the TV series Heart to Heart.
Oh God, there's another blast from the past.
Yeah, 70s, wasn't it? 70s, 80s, 70s, I think. With I forget who else was in that. The name of the guy, but Stephanie Powers was in Heart to Heart, which another series I enjoyed. So you got quite a and Mrs. Trefoil, the actress who played Mrs. Trefoil, was also the Black Widow in the original Batman series with Burt. What's his name in?
Oh, Adam West and
Burt thingy.
Burt Thingy-Mabobber.
Yeah, Adam West. Yeah. She actually played the Black Widow for several times. Whenever the Black Widow was brought in. So she's and if you look at her filmography, Tallulah Bankhead, she was in her photos. She was a stunner when she done most of her filmography in the sort of 30s. She was actually a stunning looking lady.
Yeah, even her biopic.
Yeah.
It looks like a 1920 sort of picture.
Yeah, you look at her
Even
her
up, you
filmography.
see it. Yeah,
Yeah, mostly 30s and 40s, and then of course she came into this. But
Main Street to Broadway, Fearfulness. Yeah, she's done all sorts.
yeah,
I'm
So
trying to think. Youth of Joy.
I,
She's an
think
interesting one.
I think you could also tell from the way she portrayed the villain in this that she was a sort of old school actress. She just fitted into the part perfectly.
Yeah, because she was an American as well.
Yeah.
Playing an aristocratic lady, and you could barely tell the difference, except when they were eating food, when they both used the forks the same way.
Yeah.
That was a giveaway.
Yeah. But no, I thought for a villainess, she was brilliant.
She was bonkers. Like,
she was
off her rocker.
She did it so well. Yeah.
I'm sort of getting a hint of a maybe possible incestuous relationship that might have went on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because what's his name was her. Peter Vaughan was related to the family in some way because he said when she dies, you'll inherit.
Yeah, he was playing like a nephew or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's playing a right scallywag.
Yeah.
But
no, Tallulah Bankhead was, she was crazy. She was just like crazy woman, and she played it so relaxed. And she just fitted into the part perfectly, like a female Peter Cushing. And
what I will say though is actually, it was a point I was going to bring up during this is the ladies in this can fight better than Peter Cushing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like there's a couple of scraps in this, and honestly, Yotha, the one that plays Anna, she would not be out of place in like a James Bond movie or something, or an action movie. Like for the time and for the movie, she's got some moves.
I know because if you notice in the thing, whenever they wanted the Patricia pinned down,
yep.
I mean, surely the perfect thing would have been to call Peter Vaughan Harry.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah,
but no, they called Youth of Joyce. They called
Anna. Yeah,
Anna.
And she was believable. Like,
oh yeah, she could handle herself, couldn't she?
Well, that's the thing. When we have seen fights with Peter Cushing, he's all like, and it's so pathetic.
Yeah.
And these two are like, I was convinced like they were maybe partly going at it for real because they were really putting gusto into it.
Yeah, but it's like she knew her, her
self-defense or something.
Youth of Joyce knew her self-defense stuff because she had the old arm beyond the.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's there's a few jiu-jitsu moves and the way she threw her to the ground and everything else. I'm like,
yeah,
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, cracking it was.
Happy days, but that's what you want though. You want somebody that's, like today they put some action stars in and they can barely move. Like they have no physicality about them. That's a problem with some of the indie productions I've seen. One of the indie groups, I've seen somebody showing a reel. They're practicing for a fight scene.
Yeah,
and they've no physicality. They've never done any form of martial arts in their life. You can tell, and they're so awkward. You either have to be a martial artist or a dancer.
Yeah,
I mean, it's those two disciplines.
Because that's film fighting. That's all it is choreography.
Yeah. So if you're a martial artist, that's basically a kata. You're just doing it. There's lots of drills in martial arts that you're not. Think about it, if you went every week and got your head punched off you're not going to last too long.
No.
So there's a lot of the drills are even up the light sport. I mean, there's all different levels, but there's katas that you're actually against an opponent, not just going into thin air and doing moves. So to have that sort of basic physicality is a requirement, and I'm seeing a lot of people pumping out stuff in the indie world that involves fight scenes, and they don't have it. They don't look as if they can, like, they don't even have balance. They lift their leg up and they're about to fall over because zero balance whatsoever. That's not good. And it doesn't do the film or the project well, and it doesn't do indie filmmaking well when you don't get those basics. That doesn't cost money. That's talent.
Yeah.
That's not a production budget thing. That's right. If you're going to be in an action role, if you're going to audition for an action role, bloody
yeah.
You can do something like Taibo. If you don't have to be MMA fighter, but you know.
That's what Keanu Reeves had to do for the John Wick series, wasn't it? He went through hours and hours every day of fight training, and because he openly admitted that he couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag before that.
Yeah, but I'm not a massive fan of Halle Berry, but the one she was in, the two of them were together and doing the scenes and actually using live rounds and just using weapons and that just to be comfortable so that it looked realistic.
I know her sister, Strawberry.
Oh god, it's gonna be one of these nights, is
it? Yeah. But
I need to get a soundboard. That's folks, buy stuff from the website, buy the book, buy merchandise, buy stuff because I want a proper soundboard so I can just press a button because trying to get the mouse and click the reaction is too slow. Yeah, it's important. You're funding important stuff.
Yeah. Folks, buy my book because I need a new bottle of whiskey.
To help make the next one. I think Cody whiskey more than you.
Eutha Joyce is she played the part very well.
I think she was. I think she was my favorite character in this. She was understated.
Yeah.
She's like what am I thinking of? Not Mama Golden Gun. Goldfinger, Odd Job.
Yeah.
Characters got in Jaws and that they're always the villain.
Yeah. She was like she was always there as well, wasn't she? And she was like always near the Mrs. Trefoil. And it's always there. So it was like she was the odd job of Mrs. Trefoil.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's she was playing that role perfectly. It was that deadly. Mrs. Foyle doesn't have to do anything. She has her attack dog do it for her.
Yeah. But you question yourself really, like, what therefore was Harry's part, wasn't it? Like, well, perhaps they thought, well, it's a woman. Perhaps it needs a woman to handle the woman.
Maybe they're thinking, having a big bloke through it. But then again, it's horror. It's not meant to be. See, we're thinking about 2024 or 2025 mentality. Back then, you wouldn't. If it's meant to be a horror, so it's meant to be shocking. It's meant to, like, not be nice. So I wouldn't say more about sensibilities. I think just. I don't know if Peter Vaughan's an action star of any, done action things. I know he's a big lad. But
he was in it was like a Monty Python thing about the dwarves that went through the wardrobe, and John Cleese was in it, and Time Bandits. Did you ever see Time Bandits? It was Terry Gilliam.
So. That's an 80s one.
It was quite funny, but Peter Vaughan was in it. He played a monster type thing of some kind.
Right. Honestly, apart from Game of Thrones, I'm not very familiar with him.
Yeah, he's quite a renowned actor. He's been in a few things, but and I don't know much about Alan. Let's have a look, see what Alan.
He was a bit part, wasn't he? He wasn't much. He's my least favorite character, to be honest.
Yeah.
He didn't impress me.
Famous fire. Crossroads.
Okay, I'm trying to throw.
Bless His House. He was in that a few times. Only one episode.
Vault of Horror. He's in the Vault of Horror.
Vault of Horror. He was in.
Fright. Recorded. What?
He was in Fright in 1971.
God, we covered that and didn't recognize him. He's nothing remarkable.
No, he's just
he was in The Saint for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
He was in Avengers for a couple, probably a villain. Yeah, he's probably villains.
The Avengers, Danger Man. Yeah. It's all like 1-2 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, he's nothing. Yeah, no. He's not remarkable. And honestly, like I said, he's my least favorite character in this.
Yeah,
because he really
he wasn't really in it like that, was he?
No, and he wasn't remarkable in any way. So
yeah, he seems very much a bit part actor. One episode and that's it. So
yeah, and it really showed in this.
Yeah.
But so this was based on the novel Nightmare by Anne Blaisdell, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Called Nightmare, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One I'll have to look at to read that one.
It's always cool when the.
I think the other thing I was thinking of is this story has been done several times years after in different guises about someone who is obsessed with the death of a loved one and takes revenge on whoever was responsible for the death, sort of thing. And has a shrine to the dead relative. It's usually man and wife in it, or things like that.
Which is funny because there's no pictures of her husband in this. It's all her son. And
yeah. But yeah, she even does that quite.
There's borderline. You're just thinking that's not a healthy relationship. That's something's went wrong there.
Yeah.
And yeah, she has no grip in reality. She's not. There's no sympathy. You can't have sympathy with her character.
No, not at all. But what you can have is like the thought of, oh my God, what the hell is she going to do next? She's imprisoned this girl against her will. How is she going to get out of that?
I was wondering because
fucking kill her. I mean, that's what she wanted to do in the end, wasn't it? It was kill her to be.
I think that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think that's always with somebody like that. This is basically a de facto serial killer. Yeah. And I think she was always going to take her like there was never going to be a moment where she was redeemed enough.
No.
Or
but then
pure
she was
enough
going against her own beliefs, wouldn't she?
Because
she claimed to be this Christian type of person who was reading the Bible, and next minute she wanted to kill her off. And she killed poor old Harry off, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Harry was he was.
What was the purpose of Harry?
I was going to say borderline comic relief, but I really don't know because I think they were trying to play there was twists and turns or backstab, but there really wasn't.
Yeah.
Trefoil was in charge, and that was it. There was no overthrowing her. There was no bumping her off or anything like that, or save the girl. I really don't know what purpose he served because.
Yeah, because really, in sense, why didn't she just say to Harry, "Hey, kill her off for me. I'll pay you more or less." But no, she wanted to do it herself.
I get the justifying in her head. She's building up a sort of religious zealot, and she's doing this and she's doing that, and I think she was like I said, I was looking from the mind of a serial killer. They're always trying to justify what they do, and they're always going to twist it round. That's part of the game, isn't it? That doesn't matter what you do or say, they'll always find a way to turn it because they need to do the deed. The problem is she's not really a serial killer. The whole premise is a bit shaky.
Yeah.
Like even at the start, she wasn't married to Stephen.
No, it was her son, wasn't it?
Yes, well, Stephen was her son. Turns out he killed himself. But she wasn't, Patricia wasn't married to him.
No.
Really, she had no obligation whatsoever. And she wrote her a letter. How can she write a letter if she doesn't have her address? And there's no tell. So the whole premise of this is just on thin ice.
Yeah.
Was there really no motivation for Patricia to go anywhere near that place?
Well, no, in that guy Alan, didn't it? He said, just leave it, more or less, didn't he? He says, well,
Yeah.
you know, why do you have to go? You know.
But isn't there always somebody obsessed? You know, like I didn't get the impression of a happy relationship. Especially, it's like, oh, please don't shout at me. You know,
With
I didn't
Alan
get.
in it, yeah.
Yeah, even at the end, was it please don't shout at me? I was like, huh? So I
Yeah.
didn't get the impression of a happy relationship here. But
No.
there's always, in those sort of relationships, there's always the one that's obsessed with the exes, isn't there?
Yeah.
They always have to be in touch with the ex or the ex's family or something. They just can't
Yeah.
let go or walk away. And they always bring that into the new relationship.
Why can, if she was that strong that she said to Alan, no, I'm going to see Mrs. Trefoil, why couldn't she have the same sort of strength to say to Mrs. Trefoil, I've just come to see you like you asked, I'm buggering off now. I'm not staying the night, you know.
It was like the whole start of this is what it could have had a better. There's enough time. I guess it was what, an hour 35, nearly an hour 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
It wasn't a short movie, so they had time to build in the plot. But it seems that the wasted it at the start just to get her there. It's almost like, right, we need to get her here and we need to get her staying. And you're
Yeah.
thinking it could have
Is
done
it,
with the
do you
embellishment
think it's the
better.
same old like Hammer type of thing where, oh yes, you can stay the night, you know, like in the old Draculas and stuff like that. And
But that works in
yeah.
pre-Victoria. You know, is it Edward? No, came before Victoria. Or George. It was one of the Georges, wasn't it?
George, yeah.
Third. George III, I think. Anyway, but you know what I mean? It's that sort of era where you don't really have much of a choice. You're in an isolated village and the coach doesn't arrive the next morning. That makes sense. This is 20th century Britain. She really had no business. A nice letter back. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. You know, job done, conscience cleared, move on with your life. But then I suppose the story wouldn't happen. I just hate it when it feels forced. It'd be interesting to know what the book's like, to be honest.
Yeah, is it going to be, you know, short and not very well written, like Psycho? Because I don't know if you've ever read Psycho, the book.
Yeah, I've read the first two. I actually Robert Bloch books. Yeah, I've read two of them.
It's more like something that's written down.
I like Psycho 2 better. I thought that was better written. You know, when he's in the asylum.
Yeah.
And something's going on outside. You know, and they finish off with Norman Bates escaping.
Yeah.
I remember Psycho 2 as a book more than Psycho 1.
Yeah.
The Robert Bloch book. And it's been years, decades since I've read them.
Yeah.
But part 2 always sticks in my mind. I always thought that was a better written story, and it stuck with me as opposed to the first one.
Yeah, but I think part 2, film-wise, came across because you begin to think when you've seen. I'm a big Psycho Part 1 1960 Alfred Hitchcock fan. You know, I've got it on Blu-ray. I'll no problems watching it over and over again. And you think when Psycho 2 came out, I remember it, and I thought, how are they going to do this? And it did. It come out very, very well. How they carried on the storyline of him.
What did we work out? We were going to look at Alfred Hitchcock movies, and it was going to take us 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, and that's if we did a stream every week to cover them all.
I know.
I was sort of looked at it and went, I don't think we want to commit that much. Maybe we'll cherry pick at a later point. 74 Hammer movies seems a lot easier than flipping 300 odd. And that wasn't even covering Alfred Hitchcock Presents or any of his shorts. This is just his movies. That guy was a monster, you know, in terms of just an absolute beast, a machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Psycho 2 was. They got a bit silly after Psycho 2, I must say.
Yeah.
It got that bad that I thought, is Golan Globus producing these bloody films, you know? The old Death Wish producers.
Isn't it part 3 has the weird falling down the stairs scene?
Yeah.
Isn't it that she's like doing that? And the camera, it's like it takes half an hour to go down the stairs to land right on the banister or something. And Norman Bates at the top going, isn't that part 3?
The first one's got the bloke doing it, hasn't he? The detective bloke, and he falls backwards on the stairs looking up in horror.
No, but I mean, there's a protracted falling down the stairs scene, and Norman Bates is like he didn't want to do it, but it did, and Mother just for a minute, and
because he thought,
it was bad. Once again, that's a scene from a movie that I remember not liking the movie, just going, this is silly, and it's just that particular scene sticks with me because.
And then number 4 was even worse because that was the radio.
I don't even think I watched number 4.
He was a radio DJ, and someone was ringing him up saying they were going to kill, but his acting was absolutely appalling. No, please don't. It's like that.
Yeah, no. Oh, we have a Christopher.
Okay, I'm just going to make a joke about that.
Stephen doesn't make jokes. It's 100% serious on this.
I don't make jokes, Chris.
Oh, I have to apologise to our new guests that joined us on Saturday who weren't ready for the full nerd fest that turned out to be.
Who was the new guest?
Well, with a couple of new people, and you could just tell that we all went off on one, and they were just going, "These people are mad."
Oh, was that the young girl?
Yeah. I think Demi and Phoebe were a bit, these people are crazy. I think they enjoyed themselves, but
because I said, it's nice to have a beautiful lady on here for once. What? Okay.
Poor. I don't think she was ready. This is something I always try to say. If anybody wants to come on here, is watch a few episodes to understand what the vibe of the show is. This isn't your normal. Like even the film reviews, we're going to talk the biggest sort of waffle in between. That really the reviews it's a tool to hang out and reminisce about random things, and we'll talk about the movie in between. But it's not your standard. If you're expecting your standard 10 points of, this movie is good because blah 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 blah, or an interview of tell me your 10 things. That's not what this channel's about. We're off the wall, and I don't want that to ever change.
Completely ad lib.
Yeah, because that's
scripted on everything.
Yeah, just winging
it. Naked producers at times.
That's when the cameras go off, and YouTube starts going, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, but I thought Donald Sutherland. I didn't even get his character really. I don't know what his backstory.
See, if he had served a purpose, like if he had delivered the postcard, if he had done something or let her out, then his character Joseph, wasn't it, would have served a purpose. But nothing
he was there, wasn't he? It's just like, whose was he? It was just like, what is? Why is he there? Really?
A bit of a bloated cast. I think, honestly, Mrs. Trefoil and Anna had things more or less covered. And I think what we could have got here was a real, like, gritty, kidnap, torture, brainwashing, Battle of Wills survival story. But I am genuinely convinced somebody in their head thought they were making a comedy because the music in it, there's a bit which is Run the Way, and it goes into the happy, clappy, dance music, sort of carry on music. And you're sort of like, is this not meant to be like a gripping chase scene? And then just go swimming, they play it again, and he just casually, well, better luck next time. And it was all very jovial. And to me, it really ruined the tone. It's amazing how things like music, dialogue, atmosphere, can really change the tone of a movie.
I think the other thing is there weren't a lot of mistakes in it. None worth. The only one that's worth mentioning is Mrs. Trefoil. She's the only one I know can get a bullet out of a gun without pulling the trigger. If you notice, her finger wasn't even on the trigger; it was outside. On
I was sort of looking at it. Was that like a 5-round magazine? You're sort of going 1, 2, 3. She's bound to have spare mag somewhere.
Yeah. But she wasn't. Her finger was outside, like how you got to put your finger in the guard and pull the trigger. Hers was like outside the guard on the outside. It's like, how the hell did that go? Bang!
That wasn't even a Walther. That was something strange. I tried to look that up. What it was?
Yeah,
it wasn't even like a PPK or
handbag
anything.
gun, wasn't it? It's like the guns the old deers used to have in their handbags.
But, like you would expect it to have an ivory handle, one of those types.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't even figure out what it was. But I guess it was 5 rounds. I was just looking at it. It's like that's not got a lot on it.
The other mistake I noticed is when what's she called, Patricia, was first traveling to see Mrs. Trefoil, and she went through the village just outside there. The red Mini that Alan later drove was actually in the village to start with. So he was driving this Mini that was already in the village in another scene. So I thought, right, he's nicked somebody else's car from a bloody...
There's probably a reason why we haven't heard about this movie.
Yeah.
Sort of another one that's got buried that we've unearthed. But yeah, I think, would this have worked better as a comedy?
It probably would have.
I think if they had just went in and made it farcical.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have, because they could have added all sorts of things, like her, Mrs. Trefoil with the gun. She could have fired it and it could have gone bang like that and fallen backwards, and the girl could have tried to escape. And
I'll get you, dearie. And just have like a series of comedies. It might have worked, but I almost think they were in two minds what to do with this. I honestly think when they were shooting, they weren't too sure what type of movie they were making, because it definitely wasn't a gory. It wasn't like a brutal horror. It wasn't yellow or anything. Even the bit with the scissors, like they were blunt. How the hell them scissors did anything? The rounded edges, like safety scissors.
Yeah, and then she took him out, and it was like, right. What happens with it now?
Here's how you've dressed wounds. You throw a bit of water and it's all gone.
Yeah, I've forgotten about the injury to the shoulder, have you? But the other thing is when Harry is in the downstairs and he's supposed to be dead. Did you notice he moves a couple of times?
Well, I'd move too if I was having water running down my head. What was the point of that? Plus, his makeup was horrible.
Yeah, I know.
I would understand if he'd been there for like a week.
It was the sort of move, like he was in the scene and they were shooting and he had to be still, and he didn't know
whether there's a water fountain, just go probably right in his ear hole.
Didn't know whether they'd stopped shooting and if he could move or not. It was like, have they stopped shooting? No. It was that sort of thing.
He wasn't taking us seriously.
I don't think he was. Even down as far as when he tried to come on to the girl.
That was so forced.
He was underneath. He was laughing.
Yeah.
He was laughing at himself, I think.
He was playing a bit of a ridiculous character. In fact, Donald Sutherland's character, Joseph, was more serious.
Yeah.
Like the gentle giant, the simple son sort of thing. But once again, he was given nothing to work with.
No.
So, also, why hire
an extra?
Why hire a prolific actor in a role like that if you're going to do nothing with him?
Yeah. I mean, was he that well known back in?
I would say so. I don't think.
Let's see what he's. Let's see.
Even if he wasn't like superstar status, he's
Oh, he is now, and he's still being wanted now, isn't he? Is he still alive now?
No, he passed. He passed recently there.
Yeah. God.
I think it was only last year or something. It's like very recent.
This is one guy with a bloody heap loads of stuff. I'm going back. 63. Yeah.
He was the last of a breed of actor that basically loved the craft.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a lot of TV series. I think this might have been one of his first films. Oh no, Castle of the Living Dead. Never heard of that one.
God, is this not a rabbit
he
hole?
was in Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. Is that our next one?
Have we not done that?
That's not a Hammer, is it?
That's not a Hammer. That's it's not an Amicus header. I think that's one that's under the might be under the Amicus label, but it's not strictly an Amicus movie.
He was in that one, and then he in the same year, this one, Die, My Darling. So yeah, he was very much a TV series actor until those two films looked like his first real breaks: Dr. Terror's House of Horrors and Die, My Darling. Castle of the Living Dead in 1964.
I suppose more recently he was known for the Hunger Games. That was a big thing. He was what do you call him? Snow Rose or something?
Yeah, President Snow, wasn't it?
Snow. What was that sci-fi one he was in? Or is that Kiefer Sutherland and his son? Dark City or something? That was his son.
Oh, right, yeah. He was in Outbreak, wasn't he?
He was in one of he was in Salem's Lot, that's right. He was in.
Oh, he was in one of my favorite films with Denzel Washington, Fallen. Have you ever seen?
Oh,
Fallen?
yes, yeah, God, that's years ago. Oh, the original, no, the 2003 Italian Job he was in. Oh, I hated that. That was horrible.
Oh, it was a remake for the sake of.
Oh, and he's in Final Fantasy movie. You know the CGI movie. I don't know if you've.
Yeah.
If you're not into animation, but
yeah.
Space Cowboys, was that the one with Clint Eastwood? Remember they played the old astronauts, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Clint Eastwood, wasn't it?
That's it. Fallen was Clint Eastwood as well, wasn't it?
No, Fallen was Denzel Washington.
Hold on, I've got that. It's in here. I was like, oh God, right, yeah. John Goodman was on that. There's another underrated actor who doesn't get rated. John Goodman.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of Jar Jar Abrams stuff, but when he did 10 Cloverfield Lane, like he was frightening in that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
did you see him in a film called Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon? And he played sort of the father of the guy that Kevin Bacon wanted to kill for killing his son. And he went round to see him, and John Goodman more or less said, "You want to kill my son, don't you?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "There's a gun." And then the son comes around and kills his father. It's Death Sentence, bloody good film, but
don't remember that one.
It's bordering on horror. It's gangland, come murder, come.
But the genres sort of cross over. You know, I think with thrillers and sort of crime, you get to a certain point, and it's like we get the line. It's like, right, we can't go if we cross this line, we go into horror, and we don't want to do that because there's too many people off. You know, there's sort of that fine line you have to tread with some of these movies because they can take it right up the knuckle, but then once across that line into actual horror, then you know, I think they lose their original audience.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Horses for courses and all that. That's fair enough. But I think that's why we have covered a few movies in the past that have borderlined on the sort of thriller horror because it has crossed over that line.
That's why I say about my books are horror thrillers. Because I think the thrillers, you know, they got police, but a lot of the murders, you know, are quite horrific. They're graphic, you know, with guts being cut open and
yeah, that's sort of the line. You know, you show it where that's the off-camera stuff or implied, where that's the line you don't want to cross or mutilation like this pulled back a bit because it didn't go full into torture. If this had been made in the 70s, I think we've been talking about that. The 70s were the Wild West of movies that just didn't hold back. If this movie had been made 10 years later, I think this would have been completely different.
Yeah.
But because it's still got the sort of 60s sensibilities about it, there have to be very restrained.
I think if it was remade today, it would just spoil it because it.
Oh, God, not today. No, don't make anything today, for sake.
And because this is just like slapstick, sort of semi-horror, isn't it?
But I think it's just a sign of the times. They can't. If they had done this fully, like basically, a woman's being kidnapped by a religious nut who is going to brainwash her.
Yeah.
And basically sacrifice her. That's their plan. To purify her soul, to sacrifice her to her dead son.
Yeah.
That's not a pleasant. That's.
You look at it. Something should have clicked in Patricia's head. Was she that dumb when the woman goes to her? Are you a virgin?
Yeah. Normally the sacrifice is ready. Mwahahaha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't fussed in Patricia's character. I didn't like her. Especially from, like, what was the last one we did there with Asylum? About the Asylum. What was that called? Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare. Do you know the Henry and his new wife?
Yeah.
After they bumped off his wife and got her in the asylum?
Yeah.
Right. I was seeing that sort of relationship between these two.
Right, yeah.
They're not, she's effectively, Alan's a rebound. Alan's a safety net.
Yeah.
And it's funny that she was engaged to Stephen, but they never met the family, especially at this time. That would never be done.
Well, no, because the first thing you have to do back then was get improvement, wasn't it?
But
it's an improvement process, really.
Even if the father wasn't alive.
Back then, it was more or less like an arranged marriage, even though it wasn't arranged. It was,
the families had to meet each other and agree and stuff, especially aristocracy, because it's not like they're in the council estate or something. They're basically like manor houses. So with those sort of families, you just don't elope. That's not a done thing.
So I think she tipped Mrs. Trefoil over the edge when she said, I wasn't going to marry your son, Stephen. I'm not a virgin, and the person I was going to see tonight was a bloke. if that's not sort of sticking loading the gun for her to fire, I'll never know.
But
because she was a religious nut.
Because here's where they could have really played with this: is just she was going to do it anyway, because she wanted her soul to join her son's.
Yeah.
And like a murder-suicide cult sort of thing, and have the staff as part of the cult. That ruined it too.
Yeah.
Because even in the 60s, who the hell are you going to work for that's that, unless you're actually indoctrinated and part of it, are you really going to put up with all that? For 16 years, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you're still nipping down to the pub, and you're still shagging the barmaid, and the more I sort of think about this,
Anna had thoughts, didn't she, when Patricia says, "I'll pay you 1,000 and then increase it to 2,000." You could see the thoughts in her brain going, "Is it really worth this?"
But that would have been worth it if it had got a payoff. Later on, she unlocks the door.
Yeah.
She gives the postcard to Joseph. She gets the car keys off Henry.
£2,000 back then was a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely. But folks, like nearly buy a week's groceries today. You can heat the house for 5 minutes.
Yeah, did you? Someone broke into the Odeon Cinema down in Bridgend last night, and they stole £10,000 worth of stock. Police are looking for someone carrying a bag of popcorn.
Oh, you're not far wrong. Oh man. Yeah, but there was no payoff to any of this. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
And like it just had to be done once and get a payoff and then or escape. But Alan coming in at the last, like the knight in shining armor, just didn't work for me.
In a stolen red Mini, I might
Yeah.
add.
Because how else? Because she had their car.
Yeah. Where did the red Mini come from? It was in the village to start with. I saw it.
It was funny. Yeah. Yeah. Even before she got the first night or stayed overnight, like before supper, even. What are you doing? It doesn't make sense why she stayed, or not even went, but the fact that she stayed, like,
It's
meet
like
this
I said,
woman.
she had the strength to say no to her boyfriend, but not to this complete stranger of a woman who she was, she could have just said, "Oh, hello, I just thought I'd come, as per your letter, just to say hello. Sorry, Stephen died. Bye bye." I just don't see why she didn't be more as forceful with Mrs. Trefoil as she was with her
Alan.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very strange.
Hmm.
And even when she's knocking the door, like doof doof doof, turned around 2 seconds, doof, like who knocks doors like that?
Yeah.
That's rude as hell.
Yeah.
Especially in a big.
That's the sort of thing you do if you're kicking in the door, isn't
Yeah.
it?
You have to give 3 knocks first before you batter it in.
Yeah. I thought she was going to turn around actually and knock again and smack Anna in the face. Sorry.
Now, if this had been a comedy,
Yeah.
That sort of thing,
Hmm.
Carry On Fanatic or something, it would have worked. If they had done it in the style of Shadow of the Cat, or what was the other one? The guy kept falling down the coal chute.
Oh yeah.
If they had done it in the style of those two, I would get it. But they didn't. Even the trailer, they're trying to make it as if it's a super serious, gory, psychological horror.
Hmm.
And I don't know if it was, like I said, it might have been a sign of the times that they couldn't do what they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they might have been censored. They might have been told, no, 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 we can't show that. No, we can't show that.
But it still worked. In its current sort of thing, it still worked, and I absolutely liked the film. It's the
Once
first
she was
time
in the house, once she was actually trapped, yes, things
yeah,
played out and it was cool. It was the getting there and the getting out. It's the beginning and the
yeah,
end kind of feel like they're tacked on.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I for the first time of me seeing it, I thought, hey, this is actually quite good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But, yeah, and, not much of a cast. There was only a handful of people in it, really, weren't there?
But it still felt a bit bloated because you'd like 2 actors too many. Henry and Joseph really could have not been there.
Yeah.
And if it had just been Master and Apprentice, Trefoil and Anna, and that was enough to,
But it
keep
still
her
worked.
imprisoned, it would have worked. I think it would have worked better and had more of an intensity.
Yeah.
I actually thought Henry and Joseph got in the way.
I mean, Henry could have just been a bit part to chat up the girls down the pub or something like that. And when the guy went down, he could have known Anna, say, and when Alan went down to inquire about where everything was, he could have been the one that had gone to Anna on the phone or something. No, someone's looking for you. Well, he couldn't have done that on the phone because she never had a phone, did she?
No, that was a.
You know, he could have had a bit there and saying, "Oh, someone's looking for you." You know.
Yeah, it just they were wholly underused.
Yeah.
But then things start to go. We find out that Henry's only there because he basically wants her money. You know, he's the last living relative, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not really
He
much of a.
couldn't care less if Stephen died. He, you know,
No, because I was him out of the way.
Anyway, yeah.
I just love the way she sacks him, and he has to make sure he gets his redundancy cheese.
Yeah.
You're sacking me, yoink.
Yum.
No, he took a big chunk as well. It wasn't. He's like, I'm gonna show you a big chunk off the block.
Hmm.
Good, you can't even do that today.
It was hell of a slice of cheese he had. It was hell of a slice of cheese he had.
That's what I said. That's his redundancy cheese.
I couldn't have eaten that much cheese.
You couldn't even afford that today.
No.
There's about 15 quid's worth of cheese. Flip say, I'm looking at going, bloody. I was in the supermarket. I was downtown today, in the supermarket. I'm looking at the blocks of cheese and going, maybe not this week. Maybe I'll indulge a week. Yeah. Just seeing the price of it. So I'm like, bloody hell.
I'll keep a look at we buy the bag of grated cheese down Lidl. It used to be 79p. It's now like $2.99. And they've reduced the amount of cheese you get in the bag as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's flipping a couple of sprinkles and you're done. But that's what I mean. A block of cheese is flipping. You're smashing out today.
Yeah.
It's sign of the times. Like, we're not looking at the peasants' food going, oh, look at the peasants' food. We're looking at going, oh, pure luxury. You know, look, they've got milk and cheese and fresh bread and stuff, you know.
I mean, you've got the mice going down the food banks now because no one's leaving them cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
You can get something processed in a box for 99p, but actually fresh food, God, or fresh vegetables and fruit, you're really pushing the boat out, you know.
Yeah, the healthy stuff they want you to eat is twice as expensive. You buy all the crap, can't you?
Or you can buy, like I said, processed stuff in a box or a bag that's got like the ingredients are like loads of numbers and letters.
Yeah.
God, it's fun times we live in today.
Yeah, well, there's a joke for you.
Oh, that's good.
Name the pop group. Bananarama. Bananarama. There you go.
Yeah, basically, you have to pick right which kid am I feeding this week.
Right. Yeah, it's got to the point where the grandkids I now take to the Barbican food market, you know, where you buy fresh fish, and rather than take them to the aquarium because the aquarium is expensive, and I'll just take them to the food market and say, "Shh, they're sleeping."
Oh, brilliant. Oh man. Yeah, and they had the whole fallout, and I didn't remember the brooch. There was a thing.
Yeah, don't you remember?
I didn't see Patricia's brooch.
Yeah, when she was told to take the suitcase up to Patricia, Anna was. Harry came in and he was chatting to Anna.
Oh, he was fiddling.
He took the jewelry box out and he was messing around with all the jewelries, and then he kept one and then give it back to her.
I saw him messing about. I didn't see the bit where he pilfered the jewel.
Yeah, he took one out and kept it. So,
God, it was
thieving bastard.
Yeah, it was a weird one. But the
and
fact
that he must give it to the girl,
the barmaid,
when he was having his end over, you know. And,
there's loads of that goes on in small villages. It's strange because everybody knows everybody, and it's like, Would you not even go to the next village or like be discreet? Nah, just straight down to the only pub where everybody goes.
It's always the barmaid as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, and
They,
then they're sitting down to their prayer meetings every morning, and then they're vegetarian, but they don't believe because apparently condiments are a sin.
yeah.
And this, and I wonder what
Have you got any salt? Oh, salt.
Sinner. No, she's like free Presbyterian. She's too holy for the church as well. Like down to the church and like, oh, this place is a sin or a den of iniquity and sin. It's like, woman, you are mental. Like,
yeah, he married twice, that vicar.
yeah. But it's when she has her own secret lair.
Yeah.
Where she goes down and she does all the things. Like she's got the thing with the mirrors as well. Like they've got all the mirror frames in, but no mirrors, just so you know that she's taking them all out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it's like, well, just don't
Why
have
didn't
any
you just
mirrors.
get rid of the frames?
Yeah,
they're not going to be worth anything without the mirrors, are they?
it's all very strange. You know, oh, mirrors are sinful and vanity and stuff. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but if you notice, Patricia was in the room and she looking around the room. She didn't even realize that the mirrors were there until she wanted one.
Mm.
You know,
It's something you wouldn't think about though.
Well,
you expect the dresser, you expect this stuff. You know,
you go in and you go, oh yeah, nice mirror, nice. I would notice it. I would have noticed. I would have noticed it the other way around. I would have gone, there's something missing there. You know.
Yeah, and took a minute to register, but yeah, she's her own secret lair where she's all the mirrors, all her photographs from her as a actress or model or something. And then she goes and puts her makeup on and drink, you know, just so the audience can see it. She's a hypocrite. That was a wee bit overdone. That's what I said. If I had it been, I really wish they had went and made a comedy out of this.
Yeah,
or went the other direction.
It would have gone
too busy.
Either way. You know, it was a thriller.
They were teetering too much.
If it was a comedy, it could have been a comedy as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think if they tried either, it would have worked. And I think that mainly is down to the way that Mrs. Trefoil was portrayed. Because I think she was a fantastic part.
And she could have played either role. I could see her flipping.
Yeah.
I could see her flipping and being really dark and sinister, but I could also see her flipping and being comedic.
Yeah.
Like, didn't have to change the cast.
No.
But I think if it was a comedy, Henry and Joseph would have worked much better.
Yeah. Yeah, very underused in this, but why they were there, we'll never know, will we? It's
one of the things that happened. Because this is Hammer Studios, it's set in England, but they bring I've noticed this pattern, they'll keep bringing over American actors.
Yeah.
To be in these films. And you wonder, is it the distribution or is it typical London, you know, self-hating, must act like the Americans? Like, we see the culture today that's the way they are.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't want to be British, they don't want to be English, they want to be American. It's obvious.
Yeah.
And you even see the young ones over here that type and speak and use the American vernacular, you know. And it seems to be definitely a London-centric thing. And I just wonder, because the studios, you know, the studios they used were all London-based. Is that just part of the culture, or was it a universal? This wasn't Universal distributed. This one, it was somebody else.
Columbia, wasn't it?
Columbia, yeah, it was Columbia. Sorry, distributed. But I just wonder, was that maybe part of the contract that they had to bring actors over? Because it seems like a massive expense.
They always seem to have Americans on the Columbia ones, don't they?
Yeah, but it seems a bit strange. It seems forced.
Yeah.
But even as the bit parts,
Yeah.
in this one.
Yeah.
Like, there's about 2 British actors. Everyone else is American in this.
Yeah. Yeah, because Stephanie Powers is American.
Yeah.
Peter Vaughan's English, isn't he?
Yeah.
The rest were all.
I don't know. The guy that plays Alan, I don't know what.
Eutha Joyce is English. Donald Sutherland, he's American.
No, he's American.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Morris Kaufman, he's English.
Right. So there weren't many English people in it.
No, that's what I mean too. And it's set in England, and there's only meant to be one American in it.
Yeah.
I just find it. I just wonder what was going on in the background, because it's just logistical speaking and costs speaking.
Yeah.
For this type of production.
Perhaps Hammer were making it, and they said, because Columbia was distributing it, they sort of said, "Can we borrow some actors then?"
Or is it, we have actors that we're contracted to put in so many movies.
Yeah.
So if we're going to put the money in, do you know why their contracts like 3 movie contracts or 4 movie contracts?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that. Okay, we need to put these guys in the movie.
Yeah.
They're here's part of the distribution. You put these guys in so that we're fulfilling our contracts. Could be something like that.
Could be. You don't know.
It just seems like strange choices. It's not a massive A-list. It's not Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee production.
No.
This is one of their side movies.
Yeah. Although, from an American point of view, they'd think, these American actors that are in it are I suppose they were in their early stages of being stars, weren't they? Donald Sutherland, and they were TV actors, and Stephanie Powers was young, and but Tallulah Bankhead was the main star, wasn't she?
This movie would not have worked without her.
She was totally.
She was method acting.
Like I said, she fitted into that part like Peter Cushing fits into Van Helsing.
Yeah,
she took on the role. She must have read the script. I'm having this. I'm gonna be,
Oh yeah, like this movie would have been something different. It would have been less if she wasn't on it. She's the main star. No ifs, buts, or maybes.
Yeah,
I just wish they'd given her a bit more. I felt like she's been held back.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like, you could have a really gritty, like, you just think of psychological horror of somebody being confined, no hope of escape, and them slowly getting indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And to the point where they're maybe just about to turn.
Yeah.
That's
when they tried to turn Hannibal Lecter by playing him God TV. They could have pushed the religion that little bit more onto the girl while she was locked up in the room.
Yeah, locked up, tied up, starved. I think it just felt like it was all happening over a weekend.
Yeah.
So you weren't really getting the full for it, but also because I had to keep giving these bit characters time, she wasn't getting her full range. Tallulah, she wasn't getting her full range to really delve into this character. Yeah, it just felt like something was being held back or maybe censored from outside.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they had the elements there, especially with the scissors scene, like with the included that in the trailer.
Yeah, that was
really advertised.
That was quite violent for the time.
Yeah.
Did you also see there was elements of Psycho in it?
Yeah, that's her. Once again, her character, it's almost like schizophrenic.
Yeah,
she's almost imposing herself onto Stephen, and you're beginning to wonder if she's mixing Stephen and her husband.
The other thing about like Norman used to dress up as his mother and have her skeleton in the basement, sort of thing. This was like very
There
much
was
so.
a hook. She could have went to visit the family crypt. The son was interred at the family crypt estate.
Yeah.
But it turns out the son's not there. She's keeping him in her cupboard.
Mm.
It just felt like there was something, they needed something to take us over the line. I just felt like the movie's been held back by some agency. Was it Columbia? Because it wouldn't have been Hammer.
No.
If this would have been a Universal production, would it have been different? I think if it was made in the 70s, that's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
It would have been dark. And really, it would have been, I think this had the potential to be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre level of gnarliness. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's been held back, and it's a shame because the elements were there. Tallulah was amazing in this. Patricia, actually, I didn't like the character, but I don't think you're meant to. I don't think you're meant to have too much sympathy for her, because if you did, it would be more disturbing.
This was a situation like if you watch Phantom of the Opera on the stage, you're either for the Phantom or against him. Now, I was for him because I saw it like, the girl, she was a bit of a prick teaser and used him for what she could get out of him to make her sing well, and then said, well, no, bugger you, I'm going to go with Raoul instead, And I think this was a similar thing where, you were either for Patricia or you were for Mrs. Trefoil. And I was gunning for Mrs. Trefoil. I really wanted.
Yeah, because she was the one really selling the role.
Yeah.
Everyone else felt like they were kind of sleepwalking through this. If she wasn't there, this movie would have fell flat on its backside. I think it might have been a TV release. Like I said, I had no box office information, so I don't even know if it was a cinema release.
Well, no, because it was called something else in different countries.
Oh, Fanatic. Yes.
Yeah. And because that's how I found it when I was looking for it to watch. I because I couldn't find Die My Darling. So I typed in Fanatic and found it on that way.
Yeah, no, I found that initially, but then obviously I looked in the legal reasons again. The license it under one title and then change it to other because reasons.
Also known as Fanatic. Yeah, in quite a lot of countries it was Fanatic by the looks of it, or versions of it, like in Brazil it was Fanatismo Macabro. That's my Brazilian there. Is that how they speak over there? Or is it Spanish?
No, in Brazil they speak Portuguese.
Ah, well, that's my Portuguese there. Fanatismo Macabro. All right.
There we go.
I've just upset the Portuguese, have I? It's quite a lot of places it was called Fanatic or versions of Fanatic. Poland, even the Soviet Union.
That scene where Henry gets killed, like he knew she had a gun. Why didn't he go and get the shotgun, the rifle? Like they made a whole big thing of him.
He made shotgun when he was in the water in the opening scene, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been carrying it the whole time, but then he decides he's going to take a knife to a gunfight. When it actually came down to it.
Yeah.
Odd. They were setting him up to betray her. They were all the setup was for him to betray her at the last minute, but it didn't. Once again, no payoff.
No, wouldn't work, did it?
Yeah, and then Alan comes and God, he's no manners, that bloke.
Oh, it's a typical angry American, wasn't he?
I thought he was British, supposed to be British, and she was the
He was American, wasn't he?
No, she was American. Patricia was American. He was English.
Is he an Englishman? Is he
yeah, he's an Englishman, but I think he was playing an Englishman as well. It'd be funny if he was playing another American, but no, it was Patricia. He met Patricia, and
in real life, he was actually married to Honor Blackman, who was in the Avengers, wasn't she?
That's right. She was in the Avengers.
Yeah. Bit of info there.
Before, oh my God, Ab Fab. Each color took over for the new Avengers. Yeah, she was absolutely fabulous. With Dawn Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah.
You know who I mean?
Yeah, I do. God.
Tall, blonde.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna get me now. Look it up. Look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go.
Joanna Lumley, for flip's sake.
Joanna Lumley. God, yeah.
I didn't forget that.
Yeah, Joanna Lumley. She was she used to do the Nescafe adverts as well, didn't she?
Nice, she did all sorts. But she got a bit odd as she got older.
Gareth, what's his name? Also used to do them.
Don't remember. I'm not a big TV person, so a lot of adverts, especially over last 25 years. I haven't been subscribed to a TV channel.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm talking, flipping 2000 or something. I unplugged. I had to go away. That's what it was. I had my house. I had to go away. It was early 2000s. And when I got back, I got all sorts of threatening letters, even though I'd sent them in a notification saying, I'm away, don't need my TV. Came back and all the threats of the day. And like, do you know what? I'm not renewing this. I don't need this. I buy DVD box sets anyway. So stuff is, and ever since then, I was part of what was known as a great unplugging. People just unsubscribed, and I didn't see the point of cable and stuff because I was never home.
No.
You know what I mean? I was maybe home for leave 3-4 weeks at a time, and then I was away. So that was my life up until 2013 when I left the army. So it didn't make any sense. But when I was happy enough keeping it on to one of the times I had to go get deployed. So when I came back, all the threatening letters, I'm like, really? Yeah. And then from then, I never looked at TV. So loads of ads and stuff, I just completely pass over my head. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. Not these people, because
we've got Amazon Prime, but that's because we have a lot of stuff delivered. So we make full use of the delivery. And plus, me and Co are on the same one. See,
so that makes sense.
I can use it in and I subscribe to Apple Music because I like my music, and I use it quite a lot. And I've got the Apple Music family, so Gaz can have a connection, and Co can have a connection. So the three of us, it works out quite cheap. But that's the only two things. I don't pay for a TV license because we don't watch TV. We tend to watch stuff that's on catch up or
so don't need it.
Yeah. So like what's the Red Eye? Have you seen Red Eye?
Not the movie, like a thriller?
No, it's a series.
No.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's very few TV series I'll watch. It's almost like you have to entice me out of the cave. They'll get like a treat and sort of entice me out. Here's a TV show. You might like it.
I start to watch them and then I get bored.
Yeah. After a season and a half, most TV shows are done.
I think, I've got to watch another one now. And then, because Game of Thrones, I watched first 2 series and didn't bother after that.
I got up to season 6, I think, and then
Baywatch was the last great must-see TV show, but I only watched it for the articles.
do like what was it, Baywatch Nights or something that did as well, and it was terrible. It was actually less raunchy than the daytime show.
Yeah.
Do you remember they tried to do like an adult version that was actually less? It turned out to be just less fun.
Yeah, but this is Chris, isn't it?
Yeah.
He went to watch the new Tom Hanks movie back in the 90s, wasn't it? But he landed up watching Saving Ryan's Privates, wasn't
it? Yeah, he got the wrong the wrong movie. Yeah, no, I really don't do TV. I have no interest, and it has. Even if there's a new TV show, I'll wait. I don't need to see it or be subscribed so to watch it week to week. If I'm going to watch it, I'm going to binge it. And honestly, the way a lot of them rope you in now, it's either the first episode or the first season. They'll put the effort in, and then they just don't give a toss. So why invest your time?
Yeah, Cole likes to watch the Korean series. He says they're good. And there's one he's watching at the moment, and it looked quite good. But I'm not that good with subtitles.
I like last Train to Busan.
I read the subtitles, and then by the time I get up to the scene after reading the subtitle, it's on to the next scene. I think, oh, right, okay, what's that subtitle? Oh, okay.
No, I'm not too bad at that.
No, this series is watching. I forget what it's called. It's about it's a bit like a how did he describe it? There's a group of people who are heavily in debt, and they're invited into this game where they can win loads of money to pay off their debts, but they don't realize it's a game of death.
Oh, Squid Game.
I don't know what. Squid Game.
Yeah, I watched season 1. I don't know. I've no interest in going to season 2 because it just feels like they're dragging the story. They've completed the story in season 1, and really, it's just going to be a rehash. So, tell Cole to message me and let me know if it's any different, if it's actually worth looking at, because I enjoyed season 1, but I really didn't see I felt like the last episode, they really forced their hand saying there's going to be a season 2, and I didn't see the point.
Yeah. Yeah, Squid Game. I didn't know what it was called because I wasn't watching it.
Squid Game. The first one was good. The first season was good.
And I'd sort of come in on it, and
the last Korean show I really enjoyed was All of Us Are Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know if I covered it on the channel. I meant to, maybe I did or didn't, but it was basically set in the school. It was during a zombie apocalypse, and there's these school kids are caught, trapped in the school, and they're basically trying to figure out how to go out. But then it's the whole thing of, right, what do we do during the zombie apocalypse? And it was really, really gripping. And actually the character acting, between the various kids and stuff was great.
Yeah.
Because they still had their rivalries and stuff. And then the zombies retained some of their personality. So, like the school bully, when he became a zombie, was still the school bully. He was just a zombie now. So he was fixated on one particular character.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. But like I said, it's very rarely I'll watch a series now because most of them are terrible.
Yeah, well, I like all the old films and like the Hammer ones. Don't mind watching them. But yeah, I'm just trying to get this thing for you. The last TV series I watched was Red Eye, and that's it. This guy arrives from China, Beijing, and he's been accused of a crime, and he's a doctor, and they want to take him back, and he portrays his innocence, but all the doctors who were with him start getting killed one by one, and you begin to find out why. It's a sort of conspiracy type of thing, but yeah. And then the cop who's assigned to take him back from Heathrow to China and she gets caught in it. At first, she doesn't believe that he's been set up, but then she gradually finds out that he's being set up by someone over. It is really good, really good. Red Hot.
Yeah, I have to be in a particular mood for that sort of stuff. I'm not a massive spy thriller fan.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't watch TV series. It's only like a mini series anyway.
Yeah. See, I think they should make more miniseries. That would make sense.
Yeah,
make a good 3-4 episode miniseries.
Yeah,
and because they're already reducing them anyway. Like TV shows used to be like 24 episodes a season. Now they're 8, they're 6, and they change them and that. So instead of doing that, just make a complete story, a miniseries. Leave it, make a complete story. And then don't worry about a season 2. If you're going to make another, if you've built a good enough universe, then make another miniseries in that universe with different characters. There's loads of ways to make TV.
This one was 7 episodes. That's all. So, but it's not one of those where they've gone 1 episode, let's extend it into 7. It's one of those that is so edge of the seat stuff that it needed to be 7, So and it was I think I should have wrote it because it left it wide open at the end. So.
Yeah. Talking about the endings of this, it devolved into chaos.
Yeah.
Alan arrives. He did because of the brooch. He arrives at the house, and Anna finds her husband, and Joseph decides he's going to get involved. He gets shot, and just Trefoil just goes mental. She's going to sacrifice Patricia. Almost felt like she should have held an altar, not a chair.
Yeah,
like look at all them neat sandbags and stuff like that. They are pristine. Look at her whole dungeon, basically, she's built. Why didn't she just have a proper altar? Why couldn't she have been like, I'm going to bring my son back?
Yeah.
And be casting some sort of magic ritual? That would have worked.
Yeah.
She'd found some ancient text of the Bible, that she thought, that nobody read. Or she wrote it herself.
Or, portrayed him on a rebirth like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But rebirthing him into Patricia.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of time in the middle. They rushed the beginning, they rushed the end.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, just a bit of pacing.
Yeah.
But it's a fun romp,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, for a first time of watching it, it was one of those that, because sometimes you begin to watch a film and you think, this one, I thought, hey, this is actually quite. The opening music, like we said, was it a comedy?
And the chase scene.
What's that cat and mouse got to do with?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, it turned out to be a cat and mouse conspiracy, really, didn't it? But you just think, what's that got to do with this film altogether? But
it's almost like they had stock footage and they had to use it. That's what they could afford.
Yeah.
It feels like it's on a budget, doesn't it? It feels like it's on a tight budget.
Yeah. It's like you said, it feels like they had all these American actors who were under contract to so many films, so they just dumped them into this one on parts that didn't really need to be there. So,
right. So next we have The Nanny, 1965.
Stephen is 100% correct. Chris has said I'm 100% correct.
Oh, there you go. I would keep that. I'd put that in the pocket and bring it out later.
Yeah, I'm always 100% correct.
Yeah, and you don't have to edit in our show in 45 minutes. Yeah, they do that with some of them. There are shows that have different run times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that before, where like one might be 40 minutes and the other's 37. That it's not like 20 minutes difference, but I've seen that with different
I was going to sue the BBC years ago because they used to have a program called Hancock's Half Hour, and it was only on for 22 minutes.
Oh dear.
They were cheap. And see, they even conned you back then, back in the days, you know.
I don't know why anybody pays a license fee.
Have you got snow out there, Chris?
Mate, how he's on the East Coast?
Yeah. Chris, have you got snow, Chris?
That's the strangest, right? The Nanny, 1965. There's just something not quite right when Bette Davis stars as an English nanny, and as her 10-year-old charged an emotionally disturbed murderer or just an insolent brat. Who the hell wrote that? A 5?
1 inch of snow.
1 inch of snow.
I wonder how he measured that.
That definitely deserves a drum roll. Right. Here is the description on IMDb for the nanny. There's just something not quite right when Bette Davis stars as an English nanny, and is her 10-year-old charge an emotionally disturbed murderer or just an insolent brat. Who the?
Have you read what Chris has put?
What? I know,
Chris. She told me that you walked into the wall with a hard on and broke your nose.
I always go by the thumbtack.
This is getting disgustingly dirty, this channel now.
Dirty. Oh.
Smutty.
Right, this is better. Wikipedia is coming to save the day. A devoted but mentally ill nanny cares for a 10-year-old boy recently discharged from a home for disturbed children. I don't know where the hell IMDb got that description, but that was horrible.
Yeah.
So there you go. We've got the nanny next. I don't know if I'm looking forward to this. I don't know how I feel about this one.
Hello? It's my apple.
Oh God, I never stopped this. Oh dear, man. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this next movie. I'll not go through the whole plot, but so it's basically somebody's killing people, and I don't know who it is, and there'll be a reveal. Don't be on the stream on that. Have you ever heard that song "Banana Phone" by Rafi?
No.
Ring, 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 banana phone. Go away, Steve. Fucking perverts in the channel now. This isn't the BBC. This is not the BBC.
Oh, we're gonna get banned again, aren't Oh Jesus! This only fans.
Yeah, people are going to pay us to stop. It's the anti OnlyFans. It's like
he's gonna have to edit this bit out afterwards.
Oh, man.
Anyway, going back to the serious bits, because I'm a serious person.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this movie. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm not feeling it, and it's back to black and white.
But Die Die My Darling, aka Fanatic, give it a watch. It's well worth a watch.
It's a movie of its time.
It's one that is It's not forgettable. It's quite good. It's
I've seen worse.
That you remember? Yeah. 6 out of 10. See me.
I yeah. I wanted it to pick a direction. Did you like it, Ridley? No, it wasn't Prometheus, was it? Ridley didn't like it.
No,
it wasn't Prometheus. He would have made it. He would have wrote it better, wouldn't you have?
What about M. Night Shyamalan?
Yes, I would. I would have written it better because I'm the best director ever. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna start an Ask Ridley segment about me. What would you do, Ridley?
Yeah, you should have a M. Night Shyamalan one.
Do you know what? I'm going to end up with a collection of these. I think I'm going to have to change. I'm going to have Ridley Scott, David Gordon Green, Jordan Peele, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
The ship director. I'll have to change this all around and make the ship director shelf. Thanks, Chris. You now started me down a rabbit hole of collecting directors I hate. I went and bought pins today and I didn't realize the thing came with them. It came with really cool pins. I actually went down and bought bobbin pins to stick on it, but it turns out they've got their own.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to do a whole extravagant thing with a noose, but then it was just going to sit off camera and probably hit me around the side of the head, so I didn't bother.
Yeah. Get one for Chris.
Ridley Scott is half my alien content, me just ragging on him, isn't
it? He's going to sue you one day.
For what? That's the good thing about being broke is, yeah, sue me for what?
Yeah, I know.
You know, Rocky 5 for what?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. On that happy note, yeah, we'll be back with The Nanny. Yeah, don't know about this one. We'll see. Could be brilliant, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Chris, you got to watch Werewolves.
Oh God,
it's crap.
Sorry, I was getting. It was like one of my. Cameron will do it every so often. He'll recommend a really bad movie, just so he can get the messages from me while I'm watching it. Going, what the hell have you sent me to watch? What the hell are they doing? I was sort of doing that with you. I was like, oh God, I was like, what the hell is this?
I really felt like Cole was going to chuck something at me from mentioning, because it was someone on the Horror Central that said, "Watch Werewolves."
They were trolling. They had to be. You can't like movies.
And I thought, oh, werewolves. Oh, and what? As soon as I said it, what come up on the list was werewolves. So Cole was scrolling through, and I said, "Oh, they've just said werewolves is good." So we put it on, and the scenery bloody moves, doesn't it?
Oh, the cardboard brick wall.
He had every choice, and he comes through. He comes into the living room bit where the husband. And you think,
no, he's the brother-in-law.
Is it? But how the hell did he get in?
They have a memorial the size of the wall for the dead husband, his jacket and everything. You're just like, yeah, but get it. A photograph would be fine. No, big wall full of stuff because he was a fireman. You know, he was a hero. Yeah, well, fucking get it. You told us. And
he gets into the living room through wood and opens this door, which serves no purpose anyway because the hole on the wood was, but. None of the wood was broken. So how the hell did he get through there? And then you had the bloody brick wall on it. You thought, oh, that's a brick wall, nice brick wall, and comes through, and you could see it was cardboard, and the scenery's all going like this. Oh God!
I just kept screaming, "Go! Would you turn off the friggin' lights?"
Yeah,
every friggin' light on everywhere, freaking beaming.
That's right, Chris. Yeah. Because I told Colin to watch it, and Colin watched it and done his review.
Yeah, and I was half reviewing, half texting Steve at the same time, going, "Take him a note. What the hell is this?" Oh man, yeah.
Even the music, wasn't it? The music all the way through it was like it didn't stop. It
was shit.
Music all the time. Give it a breather.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, we watched this so you don't have to, folks.
Yeah.
That's if you hate someone. If you really hate someone, send them that box set. Send them that as a Blu-ray or something. Because that's a I hate you gift.
Yeah, totally.
Don't do horses' heads in the bed anymore. It's a DVD copy of or Blu-ray copy of Werewolves on your bed next to you. That's your warning.
Well, I was honestly, I was thinking at the end, who the freaking hell directed this? I bet it's that M. Night Shyamalan, but it wasn't.
No, it was some random.
Bit of a letdown, really, but yeah.
It wasn't even good enough to be a Shiny Bums production.
No.
Yeah, well, fun. Movies are fun. It's fun to look at these, even the bad ones. But there you go, folks. Until next time, keep up to date with the channel, do the type of things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.